Hello, it is HBT and I'm here for some more side quest action. As you can see, I'm recording this from the side because I had to record this at 6 o'clock in the morning, and today I am against TJ from the Detroit Nidokings, and the reason why it was because it's done at 6 o'clock in the morning wasn't his fault, it was just because that's the best it could do. For me, because unfortunately, as we all know, I live in Australia, which is right pain in the backside, so I can't even remember the team I have. I was worried about TJ because I knew he used a Stoutland and he used Tyranitar, which is a speed demon, and here's what I had. I had an Azumarill, a Reuniclus, my Gigalith, my Clefairy, my Alolan Persian and my Hatterene. I hadn't yet done any nicknames as of yet. I still don't think I have at this moment. And he has got his Tyranitar, he's got a Beartic, he's got an Espeon, a Chansey, a Theraphorn, and a Stoutland. Now, I think the thinking was here. I'm just going to kick... Well, what was my thinking here? This is what I need to do. Now, I think for now it was just do the usual, get the Trick Room up, be a bit of a pain in the backside. I was kind of expecting a Tyranitar with Stoutland to begin with. I was worried about Chansey, because my team is quite heavily special. If you look at my Hatterene and my Akira, they've been my usual damage dealings, and Clefairy's not really going to be adding anything to that, so I had to have a Azumarill and Gigalith. This was just in case... This was just in case it was left with a Chansey. I also had to be worried about that Verathorn, because Verathorn could be a right pain in the backside because of the amount of damage it could deal out. He's obviously rocking a 69 because he is very, very mature. Nah, he's alright, TJ. We had a bit of a chat after the game. So everyone's still rocking up the Ninja gear. He does throw out the Tyranitar on Stoutland, which I was kind of expecting was going to happen. He does have one that is Sand Rush, so he's going to be running through the sand double quick. I go with Clefairy and Hatterene. So I've got the Friend Guard up, and I've also got the ability to use Follow Me, and I've also got Magic Bounce on my Hatterene, so nothing's going to be hitting that. At this point, I was thinking, you know what, I could probably set up a Trick Room here, and that's going to put him in Magic Doodoo for later, but I could also, if I wanted to, go for a... I could go for a Dynamax should I wanted and try and get rid of the Tyranitar straight away, and I think that's actually... Is that what I go for? I was worried about the Tyranitar, and the Tyranitar is a big threat. It can do a lot of damage, but I knew I could probably get rid of it, so this is what my thinking was. I was using Dazzling Gleam, I can use a G-Max Smite, and that can literally should be able to whack out the Tyranitar at one, because he might be suspecting a Trick Room, and I thought if I can get rid of Tyranitar, that is a huge problem off the field. I've got 2 chocolate bars in front of me and I'm debating eating one of them. I may wait until the break. Now, if you don't know, as I just jumped into this is best of 3. Bring 6, pick 4. VGC rules. There's no restrictions on who you can bring, so no rules, so you can literally bring whoever you want. So from a draft pick. So I use Clefairy, uses the Helping Hand, so my damage output is going to go through the roof. Stoutland does use Play Rough, doesn't really do that much damage at all. Iron Tail, that's what I was worried about if it was going to Dynamax. It didn't, thankfully, and that goes in there. I use G-Max Smite, that's going to go into Tyranitar. Now also remember, it's going to be getting a 50% boost, but that's not going to matter because of the fact that that Helping Hand essentially erased that, and the Stoutland gets confused. That Stoutland is still going to be faster the next turn, but at least the Dynamax, that's off the field. So I was thinking that was one of his big Dynamax threats off. At the same time, I was also worried if he decided to use Dynamax on that Tyranitar, I was just going to activate its weakness policy. Thankfully, that didn't happen. If that did happen, I could also use Follow Me the next turn to remove that threat. He brings out the Theraphorn, which I was also worried about. Theraphorn is a huge, huge damaging little bugger. So this was the time to use Follow Me, but as you can see, I've got Max Flare to... Basically, that I put on just for that Theraphorn. Theraphorn is such a threat to this whole team, really. He can do so much damage, not just to either of these two, but also to the Azumarill and to my Gigalith. So, do I think I get away with this? No, I don't think I do. No, he doesn't. Play Rough, managed to get through the confusion. That's not going to do too much damage to Clefairy. Clefairy is quite bulky, as we can remember. And there's a Toxic coming through, which surprised me. I was like, wow, okay. Is this one you usually use? Toxic really hasn't been seen on Theraphorn for quite a while, not since it lost its ability to have the barrier spiky shield. It gone, Theraphorn goes in and it gets rid of it in 1, which I was suspecting as long as it hit, because it's 4 times effective. And there it goes, and the sun has gone, which also then reduces the speed of the Stoutland because the sun is up and that Sandstorm has now gone. I was thinking I was in a good position at the moment. I was 4-2 up, he wasn't doing any more switching. his last Pokemon was what is going to be, and I still had all 4 in the bank. So I was thinking, alright, I cannot mess around, and Beartic was next, and I was thinking, happy days, Beartic is not going to want to come into any sun, and I can hit it straight away with a Max Flare, and that should be the end of it. I can't remember, did you use Follow Me or Helping Hand this turn? I think I just used... No, I should have used Helping Hand, and I did use Helping Hand. That was the smart thing to do, because I thought neither of his moves are going to be able to finish me off. And there is no chance in hell that his Beartic is going to survive this unless I had a Focus Sash, because let's look at it, it's going to be a Sun Boosted G-Max in the Helping Hand. It was dead, and it's super effective. Even with this, I think it was still going to go down. This is one of the Dynamax. Now, I've never seen a Beartic in play, ever. I've never seen one, so it's actually nice to see it, let alone, and it wasn't even, I was completely incorrect, it was a Stoutland to use it. Even so, I've never seen a Stoutland do it. So nice to see the big moustache of that doggy come out. But I think I'm still going to be the slowest in the field, so the Clefairy uses the Helping Hand. And this is my last turn of Dynamax, his first turn. Stoutland is still confused from the G-Max Smite earlier on, and it uses a Max Flare, obviously taking advantage of the fact that the sun is up, but it's not really going to do that much, as Hatterene is quite specially bulky as well. Icicle Crash, that's coming out, that's going to go onto the Clefairy. It's not going to do that much damage. Clefairy, as I said earlier, is a bulky thing, and here comes the Max Flare. Does it get the kill? I'm just trying to remember now. Yes, as I said, it was going to get the kill. It was always going to get the kill, and that's Beartic gone. And by this map point, I knew game 1 was going to be mine. Clefairy was going to be going down soon, so I could be a bit of a bugger if I wanted to win this 4-0. But I thought, you know what, let's just get the win. That was the last turn of my Dynamax. He's still got 2 turns, but also remember the confusion is not broken as of yet. And I thought, right, I can just use a Follow Me, and then just hit it with a Psychic and just try and do a bit of chip damage if I wanted. I could use Trick Room as well, which I decided to do. That was just really to control the battle, as I knew Azumarill and Gigalith were going to be slower than the Stoutland, so I thought, let's just not be silly. Let's control the game, let's play this outright, because you never know. All it takes is I don't switch out, he ends up getting a critical, and then we're down to 2v2, 2v1. And unfortunately his Stoutland, well, fortunately for him, fortunately for me, hits himself with confusion. So Trick Room goes in, so I'm now the quickest in the field. This is going to be the end of the Clefairy now, because the toxic damage will eventually whittle him down. Had he used something like a Steel move, that would have done far more damage in the long run, probably hit my Hatterene a little bit more. But now I was in a situation where I could use Azumarill, I could use Gigalith. I decided to use Azumarill, I decided to save the weakness policy Gigalith for later, hide that little thing, and there's my shiny Azumarill. I was in a situation where I could just look, I've got 4 more turns of Trick Room, just go after it, you don't need to do anything silly. Liquidation, I did then think, oh hang on, the sun's out, it's not going to do that much damage. But even so, there was no way, I thought he's going to be able to do 3 Pokemon, let alone 2. So Psychic goes in, it doesn't do that much damage. The Liquidation's going to come in, again, Soup does a little bit, could get the burn if I was lucky, but it doesn't. Snaps out of Confusion, it goes for Max Starfall. This isn't going to do a great deal of damage, but I think it is enough to get rid of the Hatterene. So Hatterene is gone, but I've done the job, done what I needed to do, because I was going to have a Gigalith and an Azumarill on the field. And I thought, right, I'm in a good position here. Even I've played this quite, conservatively. I could have, if I wanted, started using Protects, but I thought, you know what, no, just go with, you've got the win, just don't be silly. Just basically go out, finish it off, even if it's Dynamaxes, which is going to be coming to an end now. I knew this was going to be the end of it. Rockstream is coming out, so that's going to make his Stoutland even faster, but remember, because of the Trick Room that's up, he is now even slower than before. It's an odd combination. So this was going to be the end of the turn. Liquidation would do a ton of damage. Anything that Gigalith produces was going to do a ton of damage. I could use Iron Head as superpower, but I think I wanted to basically hold back on using superpower. That's because I didn't want to show that I had it. And the Iron Head wasn't enough, but the Liquidation was going to be enough. So that is the end of game 1. One more and I get the win, and now I'm going to eat some chocolate, so you're going to have to hear me munch. Sorry, everyone. Well, oh, this is so nice. So if you are watching this, I've done ASMR for you. My new challenge video comes out on Sunday. Yummy. And it's going to be part 2 of the Kaiser video, Emerald Kaiser Nuzlocke. I know a lot of people have been asking about it. It is coming out. I just haven't done the thumbnail yet. I'm just currently in the process of finishing the script for my Mewtwo challenge. This is what is the lowest you can do Fire Red with the Mewtwo. That series will be starting soon. I really should be picking what I had. Now, this battle, I thought, he's going to switch. There's no way is going to start with the same team. So this time I decided to start with Azumarill and Clefairy. Keep Hatterene. I think I kept Gigalith as well. Did I keep Gigalith? I think I did. Did I? I can't remember. Why was I checking this? I honestly can't remember why I was checking this. What was going through my process? Again, this was 6 o'clock in the morning. I think I had my breakfast. I was waiting for the baby to wake up. Yeah, I just went with the same team, but I just mixed it up a little bit. My thought was he's definitely going to bring Chansey this time. There's no... that's what I was checking. I was checking to see if I had Focus Blast on the Reuniclus, and I did not, so I thought, do not bring it, because I can guarantee that Chansey was going to come out and play. There was no way in hell that Chansey wasn't going to come out this time. It had to in my eyes, because Chansey will be able to block out any special attackers. So here comes the Tyranitar and the Ferrothorn. I did think there was going to be a switch. I was worried seeing that Ferrothorn, because it is a threat to either of those guys, and the fact it could have Grass Whip, Vine, Power Whip, and a Steel Move, as we've only seen it use Toxic so far. But I thought, what I could use Belly Drum, which will put me in a really good position, really strong position, and follow me, because that's going to mean that really I'm kind of going to be uninterrupted, unless that Tyranitar does have some sort of Rock Slide, but I didn't think it did. At the same time, I was thinking, well, if it does get rid of the Clefairy, I can still bring out someone later on, so the Belly Drum comes out, and I really can start liquidating things, and I can start aquajecting things left, right, centre. So I've now got max attack on my Azumarill. That does a lot of damage from the Iron Tail. It lowers my defence, which isn't fun, which probably meant I was going to go down. Seed Bomb, that is going to go onto the Clefairy, and I was kind of thinking, why the hell has it got Seed Bomb? I was really confused by that. Now, using the sand that did come in from the Tyranitar now activates my berry, so I thought, oh, happy days, that just gives me a little bit of health. But I think this was going to be the end of the Clefairy. No, it holds on one more turn. Holds on at least one more turn. And I think, right, okay, I'm in a situation I can get rid of that Tyranitar. I'm going to hit it with an Aqua Jet, so priority move is going to work. I'm going to follow Majors to protect from the Ferrothorn, because I thought I can get rid of Tyranitar this turn with no Protect. And no Protect did come out, so the follow me does go on, and the Ferrothorn will probably get the kill on the Clefairy. So Aqua Jet, that gets rid of Tyranitar, bang, bang, bang. This is the power, it's a critical hit, but I don't think that would have mattered. Not a +6, not a max attack Aqua Jet, I think that would have gone down. And he decides to use Toxic again, which was odd, and I don't understand the reasoning behind that. I might have to watch TJ's side of the battle to understand why he was using Toxic, knowing that this could potentially be a thing. So either way, it was kind of a wasted turn. But regardless, Clefairy was going down. But I thought, right, Tyranitar is off the field again, and I do need to get rid of that Clefairy. I do need to get rid of the Ferrothorn regardless. So I did bring in Hatterene. He's bringing Stoutland, so as we saw earlier, Stoutland becomes the fastest in the field because of its ability. I just needed a situation to get that Ferrothorn off the field, and I think I had to use Dynamax this turn because, unfortunately, although the Azumarill could do a lot of damage with Aqua Jet, with Liquidation, it was in a situation where I needed that Ferrothorn off the field. So I decided to use Aqua Jet, at least get the move off before I use something like Mystical Fire, so Mystical Flare to get rid of the Ferrothorn, as we saw in the first game. That will get rid of the Ferrothorn in one. I don't know if you can hear anything else in the background. My mother-in-law is watching a documentary on the British Ambulance Service, and what a good service the NHS do. Your brother-in-law's a doctor. Don't go find him, because you won't know what hospital he's in. Good luck if you can find him, though. So here comes a Dynamax from him, and I was surprised. I've never seen the Ferrothorn Dynamax, and I thought, actually, that's not a bad option. I'd rather see that than anything else getting Dynamaxed, than a Chansey being Dynamaxed, for example. Sorry, I did get a bit sidetracked there. So I use my G-Max as well, and get good old Hatterene onto the field. I actually have my next battle in the SideQuest League tomorrow morning, again at 6 AM, nice great early start. I keep forgetting I booked these early matches, but it means my weekends are free. So this is Friday, so by the time this is on, then the match would have already taken place. So here we go, Azumarill uses Aqua Jet, that's going to go into Stoutland, how much damage it does, boom, kills it in one, and that shows how powerful a +6 Aqua Jet superpower Azumarill is going to, a huge power superpower is going to do. Max Overgrowth, that's going to go into Azumarill. It's going to do some damage, and it's going to actually finish it off, which, I thought not too bad, because it's done what it needs to do. It's got rid of 2 Pokemon. We're now down to 2v2, but I thought I was in a much healthier position because I knew in one more second that thing's going to get hit with a Max Flare, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot because it's +4, It's not going to get the kill because it Dynamaxed. If it hadn't Dynamaxed, it would have died, but it is going to die the next turn, and no matter what that thing's going to hit at me, I thought my Hatterene is going to survive. And I've got Gigaluf coming in next. I didn't know who he had left. At the same time, my Gigaluf has a weakness policy and is bulky enough to take a hit. But here comes the Chansey, what I was worried about. So I now need to protect my Gigaluf. My Gigaluf has to survive because there's no way a Hatterene is going to be able to survive anything. Sorry, the only way Hatterene is going to be able to take on that Chansey, it's just too bulky. It's got special defenses far too high, so I decided to protect this turn in the hope that it just gets left alone and he doesn't let his Theraphorn. He lets his Theraphorn die. That was the only way I thought I could win this match, because again, as I said, he goes for a max guard, which is not what I wanted, which was the worst thing really. Rocksteady uses protect. That means our Max Flare is not going to be doing anything. He used the Thunder Wave, which gets magic bounced. I don't think he realised this happened, but Chansey avoided the attack. Max Flare goes off, but as we said earlier, it's going to be onto Theraphorn, who's protected. Chansey's going to get hit by the sand, so if there's any sash, which will not be the case, it's going to break it, but Chansey's not going to have a sash. Come on, people. Theraphorn gets a little bit of, we all get a little bit of health back because of the max overgrowth that was put onto the field in the last turn. So now I just need to hit it again. I really want to do the same play, but I think it's a bit too risky, so I'll go for a superpower on the Chansey. I'm just intrigued how much damage it's going to do while I do a max flare onto the Theraphorn and hope to God the Theraphorn does not go after my good old friend Gigaluf, although I suspect that's going to happen this turn, and it's one of those things you can't rely on protect. Double protect, he goes for a max guard and gets it again, which I couldn't believe. As I just said, you can't rely on that. Thunder Wave goes onto the Gigaluf, so it does an absolute bugger load of damage because it's paralysed me, and that's a pain in the arse because I need that thing working. Max Flare does nothing. How lucky was that? And here comes the superpower, and I was wondering how much damage it was going to do, and it actually does just over half, but that is not good enough because the problem is my attack has now fallen by one stage, so any superpowers are now not going to do enough damage. And I was like, bugger, that was my hope. I needed to kill it in one because that Chansey can just super soft boiled, and I am not going to do that much damage at all. So I am like, this is going to be going to a game 3, and at this time I was like, I need to be going to work shortly, I need to be getting ready for work, the baby's going to be waking up soon, the mother-in-law's going to be coming to tell me I need to get the baby up soon. So the panic was now starting to settle in as I wanted this match to be over and done with as quick as I can. So I decide, you know what, I'm just going to go for it again. This is going to go to a game 3. There's nothing I can really do here. I decide to go for a Mystical Fire on the Theraphorn and just finish the game off. The only benefit I have now is that both the Dynamaxes are over. So that if that, I don't think I'd die from anything the Theraphorn was going to hit me with. As Chansey goes for a soft boiled, it means now his superpower's not going to work, but he goes for a Seed Bomb, which goes onto the Gigaluf, which is absolutely fantastic, because what that means, as you're going to see, he activates my weakness policy, which now means I'm essentially +1 in attack, which means if I do use a superpower, it is going to kill. Mystical Fire goes on the from the Hatterene onto the Theraphorn. That's going to be enough to get the kill. Happy days, due to the 4 times super effective damage. And here comes the superpower, which does get through. No paralysis here, and no way is Chansey surviving that now. Actually, what do I know? What my memory is terrible. It does survive, but as we can see, what's up? The sand's up, and it then gets killed by the sand. So literally, that was it. It was a 2-0 win. I did enjoy playing this match against TJ, and that meant I was 2-0 up in the side quest. So yeah, it was nice to get another win. Nice to see Gigaluf get a bit of a show. Zumar will come out for the game. Next time I'm against the Beak Titan, and I have had a lot of matches against this guy, and I've lost every time. Him and his Komodo dragon. Hopefully next time I'll be able to get the win. But until then, you'll see that next week, and make sure you tune in on Sunday to see the Nuzlocke video of Emerald Kaizo. I'm really looking forward to that. But until next time, as always, if you like these videos, please like, share, and subscribe. I've been HBT. Bye bye.